back to the Maelstrom, ladies and gentlemen. We have another unboxing video for you today. Parabellum was kind enough to send us over a box of the Shikigami to open up and take a look at. These guys are a very interesting take on the idea of the Shikigami, and I've been looking forward to busting this box open and seeing just how posable these guys are. If we've got a bunch of standard guys that are stuck together, or if there's a lot of posability inside. So we're gonna crack it open, take a look, and let you see what we get inside the box. So we have our brute bases, because these guys are size 1 brute. We have our Mew card for them. And then we have our instruction booklet. Okay, so it looks like they are going to be individuals. That's really cool. That gives you a little more option in how you set them up. Very excited for that. I was kind of wondering if the ones that stood on each other were going to be together, but looks like that is going to be separate. Very cool. Lots of pieces here. I'm kind of eager to see how many of these guys we get. I'm sure I could just count on the box, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put them together and see what we get. Lots of options for detail work on the masks. Those faces are nightmare fuel depending how you paint them. Really like that one. All right, so that's what you get in the box. You get those 3 sprues, and then you get your ideal card and your bases. We are going to get these put together, and then we'll let you see what the final product looks like once we're done. All right, we have the Shikigami finished. We're going to be looking at those now. So there are some pros and some cons to this kit. I was going to kind of go through each. One of the pros is the size. This is not 2 boxes. This is 1 box of Shikigami. I was able to spread them out a little bit, and they're not as thick on the bases as a result, but to me that is still plenty of coverage. The way, if you tried to push all of them onto 1 base, I do think they would have looked a little bit crushed. There are still places that they feel that way to me, even with them split, but that is a big plus because, you know, these are chaff guys. They're at the point of me filming this, I think 30 points a stand for additional stands. So like this 6 stand unit is 200 points. So if you were paying, you know, the price that you do for a box of them and it was just 3 stands, that would make them kind of hard to field justifiably from a cost standpoint. But since you can spread them out like this, I think that makes it a little bit more palatable that they, you know, cost what they do, and they're kind of a trash unit that you're just using to like screen and tie stuff up. So that's one of the pluses. One of the downsides that I saw, I don't know if you're noticing, but like on a lot of the heads and stuff, there are huge gaps. The mold kind of didn't feel sharp at the edges where those pieces ended. So you almost have like a radius, I guess, between the 2 pieces. I don't know if that was just a batch that I got or if that's kind of a characteristic of the kit, but I have noticed having that problem a little bit more often lately with a couple of kits from Parabellum, this one and the Trinovarda in particular. I noticed a lot of that gapping in very odd places that you don't really have a choice but to camouflage. So that's another thing. Another positive, I do think, you know, there's a lot of posability and customizability so that they don't look too uniform across the unit. You do have the same pose, but you can position them in different places across the base to mitigate that. And you can also change a couple of faces, have guys hanging from different places. I mean, I didn't even use all of the Shikigami. I think there's 6 or 9 that I had left over because they're, you know, they'll hang off this side or this side of this guy, and I didn't have space for both. Or it looked too busy, whichever. So, I mean, those, you know, are going to be around for bits if I want to convert, you know, have one hanging from one of my bigger units or, you know, off of a monster base, things like that. So that's another plus. Another, for me at least, a negative, a big part of my enjoyment with a kit is how much fun they are to build. Building is a part of the hobby that I do enjoy a lot. And this kit, in certain instances, was not super fun to put together. Most of it's not too bad. The pieces make sense where they break up, but a few of them, especially this particular pose that hangs off of the guy's back, The arms are really fiddly. If you've ever built hunting pack, you know what I'm talking about. There's a couple of hunting pack that are that way. But there were a lot of times where I just found myself getting frustrated more than enjoying the build. Again, that's not like a huge knock against the kit, because I do still like the kit. I like their take on the Shikigami, but it is something to consider as you're building them. Like it was a little bit of a test of patience for me. Maybe I'm getting older, having a little more trouble with dexterity. It could be that as well, but just something to be aware of as you look into this kit. If you're looking to pick any up of your own, or if you're looking to expand any of your conquest forces, when you get to checkout on Parabellum's website, if you click on the discount link and you put in Maelstrom 10, you will secure a 10% discount on your order and assist the Maelstrom channel in the process. To all of you who have already done that, we say thank you. It's been a big part of why we're able to keep showing as much conquest content, I can't talk today, as we do. We're hoping to have more in the future. It has been a rocky few years as far as getting stuff onto YouTube, but we're hoping to make that a more regular thing again. To all of you who have stuck with us through those slow times, we really appreciate it. We appreciate your support. We have not earned it a lot of times, but we're trying to get back into that swing of things. And as always, we appreciate so much those of you who have spent your time today with us at the Maelstrom.